Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, 3 Hall of Famers, 3 NBA champions, 3 absolute legends. Can you even imagine if these 3 were on the same team? Those 3 on the same team? It sounds like a dream. But believe it or not, that dream was almost reality. I must first take you back to June 19th, 1984 at the Felt Forum, the home of that year's NBA draft. The 84 draft has gone down as one of the greatest drafts, if not the greatest draft of all time. But when you look back, it's not hard to figure out why. It had 4 Hall of Famers: John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, and Clyde Drexler. The top 3 picks in this draft were owned by the Chicago Bulls at 3, Trailblazers at 2, and the Rockets at 1. Now, believe it or not, the Trailblazers were actually just picking number 2 overall because of a trade they made with the Pacers earlier in the season, while the Bulls and Rockets were 2 teams in desperate need of a star. It was on this late June evening that Rockets GM Ray Patterson made arguably the worst decision in the history of American team sports. The Rockets were in a pretty interesting situation. Not only did they have the first overall pick the year before, but they had the first overall pick again. The previous year, they drafted a center by the name of Ralph Sampson. He's actually obviously a lesser-known player, but he's still a Hall of Famer, and at that time, he was the reigning Rookie of the Year. In this draft, the player of the Houston Rockets and the whole NBA had their eyes on was a dominating center out of the University of Houston by the name of Hakeem Olajuwon. They had high hopes of what Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson could do when paired together. Not only was Ralph Sampson liked by the Houston Rockets, he also caught the eye of another organization, the Portland Trail Blazers, the team with the number 2 overall pick in the 1984 draft. The Portland Trail Blazers were such big fans of Ralph Sampson that they offered the Houston Rockets not only the number 2 overall pick, but future Hall of Famer Clyde Drexler. Now, unfortunately, Ray Patterson did not take the deal, and Clyde Drexler remained in Portland, and so did the number 2 overall pick. Now, it's easy to look at it now and say, wow, Ray Patterson, how do you not take that? Worst GM ever. Stu Inman? Are you kidding me? How do you offer that? Of course, as we know now, and as I mentioned earlier, a little over 10 years later, Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler would end up being teammates. But just imagine the progress and just rings that they could have won, the success they could have had if they would have teamed up 10 years prior. Who knows? Maybe Jordan won't be the guy we know today. Maybe Jordan wouldn't have won all those rings. Maybe Jordan wouldn't be his heirness with the 6 rings. But wait, there was more to that trade. Not only were the Trailblazers offering the Rockets Clyde Drexler, but the number 2 overall pick. If I'm doing my thinking correctly, they could have drafted Michael Jordan. Imagine this: Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and then you grab that number 2 overall pick and draft Michael Jordan, the man considered by most to be the greatest to ever play. Now, obviously, it's easy to look back now that these 3 are long since retired and long since inducted into the Hall of Fame, and say, wow, Ray Patterson, worst move ever not accepting that deal. Stu Inman, wow, really bad idea even offering a deal in the first place. But at the same time, like I said, it's easy to look back at it now, and also Ralph Sampson was no scrub. At that time, he was the reigning Rookie of the Year and went on to get into the Hall of Fame. So of course they all did get rings: Hakeem 2, Clyde 1, Jordan 6. Now, a legitimate argument can be made, of course, that if Michael Jordan went and retired for a year and a half in the middle of his career, in between the 2 three-peats, he could have just won 8 straight. But you never know. And also, who knows? Maybe if he would have teamed up with Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, maybe he would have won 12, 13, who knows? So you're probably wondering, who did the Trailblazers select as that number 2 overall pick? Because Jordan played for the Bulls and the Wizards later in his career, but he never played for the Trailblazers. Oh, funny you asked. Sam Bowie. Ever heard of him? Probably not. Sam Bowie's career was filled with a lot of average play and disappointment and a lot of injuries. Did Sam Bowie make the Hall of Fame? No. Did he make an All-Star Game appearance? No. I mean, it makes a little bit of sense. I mean, of course, you look back at it now and it seems insane, but Sam Bowie, he was a high school, he could have drafted Michael Jordan. Thanks for checking out the video. I really appreciate you watching. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. I plan on making a lot more videos like this. A lot of just all-around great sports content. So if you liked what you saw, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. And once again, thank you for watching and have a magical day.